Hey everybody, my name is John Masai. I'm the owner of Elite Personal Fitness. I want to explain in detail our personal group fitness program because it's so unique and different from every other program out there because we created it. And personal group fitness is the only group training program that it gives you a personalized program, but also the fun of training in a group, because I felt like group training was failing people. I felt like, putting everybody into a room, and giving them all the same exact program and saying, hey, let's go, was a very big disservice to our members. And I didn't want to have a facility that ran that way. And we like the nerdy side of like creating programs and the exercise science behind everything. So we created a program that allows people to train in groups, because that's where the fun is. That's where people are usually typically more consistent. It's where people have more fun. They meet people that work out at the same time. They end up being gym buddies. But then also too, my people that were doing one-on-ones were getting the benefit of having something made for them. And I enjoyed that process. And I know that like everyone is so different that they need something made for them so that they can create, or accomplish the goals that they're looking to come in. I mean, look, we all need to get strong. We all could lose some unwanted body fat. We all could be more confident, and that we share with other people. But some people have different injuries. Some people have different training histories or different strengths, weaknesses, mobility levels. So I really felt that if I was going to have a group of people and then give them the benefit of having the personalized program, that there needed to be something created so that they could do so. So that's where we created the personal group fitness program, and that is probably 90% of our membership. We do have one-on-one training services. We do have our athletic training program, but this is the majority of the people that come to our facility. They come because they want us to do all the thinking for them. They want us to say, hey, here's all my injuries, here's all of my concerns, here's my goals. Please make something for me, and then I want to, but I don't want to do things by myself. So they come and they can train and exercise together. We have a coach that walks around and helps everybody through the program. So how it works is, we started with an initial assessment with everybody. So you would come in, we'd set up a time. We come in, we sit down, we go over, hey, we want to learn more about you just as a person. We want to learn more about your training history, what you've done in the past, what has worked, what has not. I want to know what your injuries have been, what your surgeries have been, what medications you're on, so we can get an idea, so I can make a program for you and get you started on the fastest path to success. Because then from there, we do a small little workout. We're not trying to smash anybody. I'm not into like, hey, I want you puking or anything like that. Like we want you to come in here. I want to get an idea of like, all right, what's your general, strength? Like, what are we starting at? What's your mobility like? How do you move? What's your coordination like? What's your upper body strength versus your lower body strength, your core strength? And you just need to get an idea of where we're starting, because once I put all those pieces together, then I can make a program for you. And then you have the availability of our classes or our class times throughout the day to come in whenever you'd like. We pull out your program, we walk you through everything, we make sure you're doing everything right, and we assign different weights, we give you different workouts. So say if you come in one day, you're like, hey, I did yard work all weekend, my low back's kind of beat up. Usually it doesn't bother me, but today I'm just kind of really sore. It's like, okay, don't do this, let's change this, let's modify the reps here, let's do that. So it really is truly personalized for every single person that comes to the gym. And it's just based off what season you're in too. I mean, some people who have been training here for almost 6 years, their first 2 years, they were very focused on goal one, and then once they kind of accomplished that, or, we're done kind of achieving that or doing that, they're like, what, I think I really want to kind of get better at this. Okay, cool. Let's start doing that now. Or say they got in a car accident. Okay, things change. We got to do this. They got surgery for something. Okay, we can change it. We can modify it. So people can still come in and still be moving. Now, after your initial assessment, you can start typically ASAP. We'll make a program for you and we'll say, hey, you can start tomorrow. We'll get you going. We'll come in. We'll walk you through everything, so you don't have to know like, oh, what are the proper ways to do it. We'll walk you through it. What we do is we walk everybody through a warm-up, and then we break up into the groups. Okay, we walk around, and the coaches walk around and make sure that they can help everybody and coach them through their program. Now, along with that, with the training side of it, you have all the availability of the class times. We have 5, 6, 7, 9, noon, 3, 4, 5, and 6, Monday through Friday, and then Saturdays we have 7, 8, 9. Monday, Wednesday, Friday are strength days. That is where you have your own paper program where you keep track of all your weights, and we can cross off and change things and move things around. And then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday are like our conditioning classes where we increase your heart rate and then decrease it over and over again. Those change every single time that you come to the conditioning days. We try to keep those fresh because you never want to do the same conditioning workout in twice a week. And then we have the strength days where Monday, Wednesday, Friday are their own separate workouts. They're total body workouts, so it's not like if you miss a Monday, you're screwed and not going to be able to do that movement, because you're still going to do those movements throughout the week. But those change every 4 weeks. So every 4 weeks you get a brand new program. We coach everybody through it. Everybody does something very similar, but modified based off what they can do. So say somebody has a low back injury and a knee injury, and then somebody next to them has no injury, and then somebody next to them is in a wheelchair, and then somebody next to them can't get up and down from the ground, so we keep them upright the entire time. All those people can work out in the same class, okay, and still have their own personalized program, but all work out together, which is why we think it's so cool that we can do this, and why I created it, so that we could have a program and have different types of people all training together, since we're all trying to get better. Now, going into the nutrition side of things, nutrition is not an added cost. It's part of the membership. I don't like charging people more for like, hey, here's this piece of the puzzle, but you gotta pay me for other pieces of it. I want to give you all the tools so that you can be successful. So I will give you a personalized program, and we'll give you coaching every single time you come, and then we want to give you personalized nutrition coaching as well, because those are things that you're going to need to be successful, and to be successful at just being healthy. So what we do with that is we say, hey, I want you to write down everything that you're eating for about 4 or 5 days at most, and then we'll sit down and we'll go over it. Or if you don't have time to sit down, you can email it to me, and then I'll give you a whole thing of what I would recommend. Now, we're not in any specific camp where, hey, I think you should go low carb, or I think you should do keto, or I think you should do, intermittent fasting, or whatever it may be. If you want to do those things, I can help you with that. If you're like very adamant, like, hey, I really want to do this specific diet, I'd say, hey, well, here's my recommendations, and if you want to do that. But for the most part, we just push. We want you to have all the food groups. I'm really worried more about calories than anything. So if you're trying to lose weight, we're really focused on calories. Well, hey, we want you to hit these numbers, and we make very small changes, to make, have big progress. So I just want to make changes that you can do, and then from there we build upon that, and then we can constantly change it and move it and go from there. And then we can stay updated with you as long as you would like. If you're like, hey, I want to check in every 2 weeks, be like, cool, come in. We have an in-body machine that tells you how much muscle you have, how much fat you have, so we can see if you're losing fat, gaining muscle. And then also, we will just be consistent with you based off of what you're looking for. So if you're like, hey, I really need help, I don't know what is going on, I don't know why I'm gaining weight, I'm exercising this many times, I'm doing that, my scale hasn't moved, cool, we'll sit down, we'll go over and we're like, let's make these little steps. Let's do this for 2 weeks. We'll check in. Hey, is this working? No? Okay, let's make some more changes, and then we'll just keep going. Some people after the first 2 weeks are like, I'm good if I just keep doing this. I'm like, you're going to have success. So we just keep going with that. Okay, so the training's all personalized, nutrition's personalized. Now, the next big thing with us is just how the membership works. I understand life happens. I understand joining a gym is super, super nerve-wracking. You think that you're gonna, because my industry has led on to that, hey, you have to sign this super long contract, or it's super hard to get out of. You got to show up in person and give them a piece of paper and all this stuff, and they just make it hard for you so that you don't cancel. I want people to come here that want to come here. I don't want to take people's money that aren't coming and that don't want to come here any longer and are just waiting for their membership to end. I want us to say, hey, if this isn't working, then you're good. I'm not going to charge you anymore. So pretty much we have two routes that you can go. You can go 3 times a week, or you can do an unlimited, which is 6 times a week. Okay, and you can come up to those times. You have all the availability of our class times, so you can come to any of those dates and times. Now the memberships, there's just a monthly rate. Okay, there's no sign-on, fee. There's no activation fee. There's no hey, this is how much it costs per month. When you want to start, that's when the first billing starts. So if you start on the 16th, of the month, The 16th of every month is when you would get billed, and pretty much we just go, it's going to automatically renew for another month until you tell us otherwise. So say you go for 3 months and you're like, hey, you know what, this isn't for me. Okay, cool. Or if you go for 3 months and you're like, hey, I'm going to go to my summer home in South Carolina for the next 2.5 months, and then I want to come back. I'd be like, all right, cool. We'll pause it. There's no fees during that time. And then you just restart. So you pay for what you train for, and then you come and train. Now, cancellation-wise, there's no, you don't have to let us know in a certain amount of time. You don't have to give us 30 days. You don't have to, write some weird form up and then give it to us. Just shoot me an email and say, hey, you know what? I think this day is going to be my last day. I can even prorate you for that month. Or say if you canceled, on the 6th of the month, but your payment came out on the 1st, and you're like, I haven't been there, and you're like, can you refund my money? Sure. That's no problem. So I try to make this as easy as we can so that this decision isn't, to invest in yourself isn't a very complicated, stressful. There shouldn't be more. It's already stressful enough that you may be not happy with yourself and that you want to get stronger and you're not happy about it, or that you've put on some weight and then you're like, hey, this is already a nerve-wracking thing. I know I need to make this change. I don't want to add on to that by being like, well, you got to pay your first and last month. You got to do, this registration fee. And if you can't cancel within this time, or this happens. There's none of that. Straightforward. This is how much it is per month. If you want to do 3 times a week, this is what it is. If you want to do 4 times or 6 times a week, this is what it is. You want to upgrade, downgrade, that's fine. You want to move your billing date, that's fine. You're going to go on vacation, cool, let us know. As long as you let us know and you just say, hey, shoot me an email and say, hey, on this day this is happening, or hey, I want my son to join me. Can we do this? Sure, no problem. Oh, they're going to only do 6 weeks. Can you prorate me for that? Sure. As easy as we can make it, that's what we do, and we're flexible with people, and I tried my best to make sure that, that it's very easy for you to come and talk to us. It's not a very stressful thing. Life happens. I get it. Some people get sick. Some people have their parents get sick. I understand. So with that, we do what nobody else does. We create a personalized program for every single person in our facility, and then we coach them when we do it. If you have any questions on nutrition, we help you with it. We make sure that you guys have all the information and all the tools that you need and support. Even if you're like, hey, I'm struggling mentally right now, I need another way to think about this. Cool, let me help you. Okay, and then we make the membership as easy as we can, so it's super stress-free, and you don't have to worry about getting hit with these mystery, charges or anything, and just be upfront with people and make it easy to do business with us. Now, if you have any questions or concerns or want more detail on anything that I spoke about, please feel free to reach out, and we'll love to help you. I can send you information, or what the rates are or anything it is. We can email it to you. That's no worry. I'm not worried about hiding that. You don't have to come in and talk to us about any of that stuff. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and thanks for listening.